Questions again one more time. Definitely means a lot of people, most of them they are my students. They are asking me such a questions. So I've already learned Oracle DBA, or I've already been into the Teradata, or I'm already into Oracle R.A.C. So is it good that if I shift my career as an data scientist, or what are the things that we actually need to learn if you really want to become a data scientist? They are talking about the technical things, and I found that lots of confusion over there. Means what are the prerequisites for the data scientist? That actually I want to let's say discuss with you. In my previous video, I said that to become a data scientist, you have that ability to analyze the things. I said that ability to analyze the thing. Okay. Now here I want to discuss you about the things which are actually needed to become a data scientist. Now, before I go further, I will like to explain you that all of those topic which I'm going to discuss with you right now, it is not necessary that you should be master on those topics. Okay. The thing is, you should understand the logic behind that topic so that it will be helpful for you to, let's say, pursue your career or to start your career as a data scientist. Okay. Just to refresh your memory, what do you mean by data scientist? Lots of definition and everything over there. So if you can ask me, so data scientist is a person who actually extract the knowledge out of information. Okay, means you have lots of knowledge available, lots of information available. Out of that, you need to extract the proper knowledge, and that knowledge which is precisely helpful to your client. Okay. Now, by this time, most of let's say the people who are already been into the IT, either they are working as a developer or a DBA, database administrator, or into the information security, or into the cloud computing. Okay. The thing is that each and every field, now listen carefully, each and every field, whatever I said right now, actually needed to become a data scientist. And as I said previously, you really don't have to become master of any of those fields, but you should be aware what is exactly going on into each and every field. For example, you feel a bit surprised, but my suggestion is you should first learn about the microprocessor. I know that most of you did your engineering, and while doing the engineering, microprocessor, MUPI, we gone through that. Okay. We understand what do you mean by microprocessor, but here I'm talking about microprocessor whenever we are using it at the functional level. It means I'm talking about what is the purpose, what is the use of a microprocessor or a CPU in the terms of performance tuning. In different scenario, definitely I need to change the CPU's uses and utilizations and lots of other things. So first of all, that is the first point, you should be aware what is microprocessor and in which environment, what type of a microprocessor or a CPU is actually needed. That is the first point. I'm talking the technical things about it. Okay. Thereafter, you heard about the data modeling? Yes. So what is meant by data modeling? So data modeling is let's say the kind of a framework where, as per the client requirement, we are loading into our data. I'm talking about the RDBMS data, structural management of a data. The people who are not at all belongs to IT field, listen it carefully. What I'm trying to say is, so data modeling is, let's say, the kind of a structure. Okay, as per the client requirement. So as per the client requirement, we built up some structure. Okay, and then into that structure we are loading up our data, so that data is to be in most of the time in a continuous memory location, and easily accessible to as of when required to extract the report for a client. So data modeling is again very important aspects. Again, I'm trying to say is what you really don't have to be master into that, but you should understand the concepts of a data modeling as well. Now, third and important aspect is what you should be aware of a transactional database. When I say transactional database, means the database which is actually used in your day-to-day purpose. Technically speaking, the database which is most of the time uses for update purpose. So update is let's say the kind of operation that we are dealing in our day-to-day in our day-to-day activities. So update means we need to first of all delete something, then we need to, let's say, insert something. It means some changes that we need to apply it. Okay, and as I said, we are applying it on database or in structure, on the structures. So I'm talking about the rows and the columns. Structure means the table they are talking about. Okay, so all of those database who are actually dealing with your day-to-day transactions. For an example, let's say you extract some amount through your ATM. So that is your one transaction. Or you book your movie ticket through any app, let's say from Book My Show, or you book the air tickets. Okay, so all of those are nothing but what? My transactions. So those transactions actually taken care by a RDBMS or database management system. Okay, that database management system, we used to call it as a transactional database management system. And the most famous transactional management system in our IT industry is Oracle. And it is widely used. So I am into the Oracle since 1994. So till date, it is still going on and on. Okay, so we are in the version 19C right now of Oracle. So the job of Oracle RDBMS is what? To handle your transactional data. Transactional data means at any time if you are booking any ticket or doing any kind of let's say transaction with the help of your internet, then definitely the background Oracle is supposed to be the RDBMS which is there to handle your all those transactions. Okay, so you should be aware how this Oracle actually works. Now friend, apart from the Oracle, as I said in the beginning, Oracle R.A.C, real application clusters. That is again, knowledge of that R.A.C is again much needed to become a data scientist. Few people may not be agree with me in this kind of let's say the statements, but the thing is that what you become if you are a data scientist, then you are going to receive data from the different sources. Okay, don't say that you really don't have to bother about from which source the data is coming or something like that. No, you should be aware from where the data is actually coming on. So later on, while let's say doing your programming in machine learning, or let's say if you deep drill there, so there is a concept called a deep learning as well. So machine learning, deep learning, right? Okay, so those kind of information is much more needed to, let's say, come up with the certain logistic. So you should understand the logistic as well as the algorithm. So for that purpose, you should understand what are, let's say, the different sources. The Oracle R.A.C, real application cluster, is nothing but the area where a multiple transactions can be handled at a time. So you can say we have lots of instances available, number of instances available, which are actually talking to one of your database. So multiple instances talking to one database. So that is the concept of your R.A.C. You can say the parallelism also. So I will discuss those things in later on. What is parallelism? What is this, let's say, sequential processing, or what is this multiple instance, and all of those technical things we will discuss. But again, the Oracle R.A.C is much more needed. Okay. Apart from Oracle, I suggest you to, let's say, cover up with the data warehousing as well. So why I'm saying the data warehousing? Because once you, let's say, gathered lots of information, where as your transactions, so those information we should kept in a warehousing system for future use as well. Okay, so warehousing is the environment from where in which the data can be collected from the different sources. So Teradata, I suggest you to go ahead with the Teradata. Along with the Teradata, you should learn the certain tools and utilities as well, which actually help you to load the data and extract the data. So you should understand how the process is going on, how the data loading is going on. So in case of a Teradata, we have a certain load utilities available, which are exclusively there to load your data. As well as there are load utilities available in warehousing system, which actually help you to perform, let's say, the bulk amount of updates. Yes, bulk amount of update as well. Friends, this Teradata or Oracle, what I am talking about is what, we should understand how to, let's say, monitor the things, how to, let's say, second one is what, troubleshoot the things, how to, let's say, go ahead and do some tuning if certain things, let's say, not at all behaving as per the mark. So performance tuning as well. Okay. So all of those aspects are much more needed if you want to become a data scientist. Apart from that, we should learn the statistics as well. So what do you mean by statistics? Statistics is nothing but, let's say, the graphical presentation of your, let's say, information. Okay, so that we should understand how the statistics are there. So in my previous video, I talked about what? Facts and the figures. So where the figures are actually generated through the statistics. So one should understand the importance of figures. So that to be generated through the statistics. Okay. Apart from that, as I said, machine learning is important. Then the deep learning is also there. Apart from that, artificial intelligence is also there. Definitely to handle all of those aspects, we have languages called Python. So Python is the language which is widely used. Okay. So you should learn the Python. So you should be a master into the Python as well as machine learning, deep learning and AI, artificial intelligence. Whereas you should have a fair enough knowledge of Oracle and the Teradata plus microprocessor as well as let's say the data modeling. Okay. Apart from that, cloud is very important aspect. So you should have a fair knowledge of a cloud computing as well. You can go ahead with the Google Cloud or maybe AWS Cloud or Microsoft Azure. I prefer to go ahead with the Google. There are certain reasons behind it. So we will discuss those reasons as well in my coming videos as well. Okay. So apart from that, okay, you should be masters of certain visualization tools like a Pentaho or a Tableau. So all of those technical things are much more needed if you want to become a data scientist. So once again, just to summarize everything, you should be aware of a microprocessor. Second, Oracle DBA aspects, deep admin, how actually the job works. Then the third one is your data modeling. Then the fourth is Oracle R.A.C, real application clusters. Then the Teradata. Teradata is some sort of DBA activities and developer activities. And then the tools and the utilities specifically. Then some sort of ETL knowledge along with that. Okay. Then after we can go ahead with the cloud computing. I suggest you to go ahead with the Google cloud computing rather than to AWS. Okay, that is there. After that, machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence and the Python. So these are the important aspects that we have to go step by step. In my coming video, I will discuss each and everything in much more detail. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.